start a podcast. All right. Well, here's the start to our podcast journey. We're leading with the Anonymous Super Seniors, ASS for short. We're going to start off with some introductions to everybody here. So I'm going to do my good friend Chris over here onto the far side of the room. What's there to know about Chris? He's got 2 kids. Your children's names, Easton and McKinley. They were blanking me there for a second.
That's a tough one.
Easton and McKinley, both great kids. Easton is 6, 7? Almost 7. McKinley is 4.
Yep.
Chris married Haley. Haley, his wife. They met on their mission. A little scandalous.
It's okay, no hanky-panky.
That we know of.
Yeah, we don't believe it.
Let's see. Me and Chris have been friends personally since we were 9 years old. 10?
5th grade. 10 or 11.
Yeah, and played football together all growing up, and rugby and the ups and downs of life. Chris likes to hunt. He's a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Go Birds.
Ooh.
Go Birds.
Is a rugby coach. Truthfully, personally, one of the best basketball players I've ever seen. That was a long time ago. Not sure if he's still like that now.
Nope.
Yeah, but just an overall great guy, good dad, good friend, good athlete, and that's Chris Rowe for you.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
My turn?
Yep.
I get to introduce my good buddy, Braden. Braden over here. He is a good dad as well. Him and his wife, Tessa, just ended up adopting Kaysen.
Or Grayson to some.
Kaysen and Grayson, or whatever you want to call him. Grayson, whatever you want to call him. Yeah. He is, how old? Almost a year.
Yeah, almost
9 months.
9 months now.
9 months old.
That's kind of
crazy. He works for Podium. He's a salesman over at Podium. Loves baseball. Played baseball all growing up. Big superstar baseball player. Was. Also played football growing up. He played with Canyon and all 4 of us.
Yeah. Can I hop in real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Braden's also just like one of the most naturally talented people in the room, I think, or that I've ever met, where he just like picks up stuff and he's just kind of naturally good at it.
It's actually kind of annoying sometimes.
It's very annoying.
Whatever.
He's always stays in shape, and he's just kind of a natural athlete. So
yeah,
just a little
loves to run for some reason. Don't really know why, but loves to run. Can not train and go run a marathon or a half marathon. I've seen him do it. Literally seen him do it.
Well, when you're 110 pounds, so
yeah, that must be nice.
But still, Braden and I have been friends since 9th grade. Met him when I did my second year of 9th grade.
I was going to say second year of 9th grade. We'll get into that one.
We'll get into that maybe someday. But second year of 9th grade, met Braden, and we've been best friends ever since. So,
thanks, Chris.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you. Thanks, Ken, for your put in there.
Yeah.
I get to introduce Brady Girthquake over here.
The girth.
You may recognize him as the potential mayor of Eagle Mountain. You go ahead and look that up on the internet. You'll find out why. So
probably got written in a few times.
Probably. So
definitely.
Couple write-in votes. Yeah.
Absolutely. I still put him on the ballot to this day. But no, Brady is an absolute stud. Also a good dad. I think that's across the board. But Brady has 3 kids. Just barely had a brand new little boy, Max. So he's living that newborn baby life, not sleeping at all. But Brady, it's awesome. Like one of the smartest guys I know, as far as anything. He'll find a hobby that he wants to do, whether it's golf, whether it's anything, and he'll pick it up and he'll go all in.
I don't know if that's the smartest guy.
Well-
That's just
It's a good trait though.
yeah.
Yeah, you know.
I like.
I mean,
It
you
goes along with Braden. You're good
Yeah.
at stuff that you just want to pick up.
you give 100% in everything that you do, which
Yeah.
is good.
There's no half effort from you. So, and I luckily get to work with Brady at Podium as well. He's in sales with me and great leader there. He also is a little league football coach, and I'm just looking around here at the room. We'll have to show you guys one of these days, but just trophies from winning championships left and right. I think as far as me and Brady go, we've known each other since what, seventh grade? Eighth
No,
grade?
I guess originally it went back to us being on the same baseball team when we were like
Well, that's true.
8.
Uh,
We weren't
I-
friends back then. Did you not know that?
I actually didn't know that.
Funny enough, Tanner was on that team.
Tanner Thorne?
Tanner Thorne was
Wow,
on that
way.
team too.
that's a small and
and coached by Braden's dad and older brother.
Dave.
That's
Good
why we
Dave.
didn't go anywhere, I
We,
guess.
Big Dave.
Yeah, back in I mean, we were probably 7 or 8, if I had to guess.
Okay, well, I guess I need to dig a little deeper in the memory banks. But no, Brady's awesome. Heck of a coach, heck of a leader, heck of a friend, and we'll be there for you through anything. And we'll spend 2.5 hours with you trying to figure out how to do a podcast. We'll talk about that in a minute. But
Jeez.
that's Brady. We're excited to have him with us and part of the best friends. So
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, we'll get into Barbara, Sharon, and Mike here in a minute. It's been an adventure getting here, but Canyon already introduced himself. Canyon, how do we describe Canyon? Well, I'll just give some details, and then we can kind of get into describing Canyon.
Kenny's getting nervous.
He's sweating a little bit here. No, Canyon is probably one of the best people I personally have ever met. Genuine, great father, great husband, obviously very good friend. But I think Canyon, one of the things that really stands out to Canyon or about Canyon for me is just his dedication to people. Canyon loves his relationships and treasures those. But Canyon and his wife have one little boy, Jax. How old is Jax now? 4?
yeah, he's 4. Just 4 in December.
Just turned 4. Running amok. And Canyon was kind of that high school all-star. Ran a 4.4 in the 40. No, Canyon was a...
Not facts.
You know, he he did a little bit of everything. Dabbled in student government in high school. Did a lot of phenomenal things, and I know a lot of people that look up to Canyon in a lot of different ways for a lot of the
Is your mic muted?
Oh,
attributes that
I hope it wasn't.
I hope that was recorded. I hope that your portion was recorded and picked up
First
on our first episode.
On the intro.
This is bumpy. This is rough.
Sorry. I just
Yeah,
wanted to make sure
well,
his mic was on.
we'll see if that picked up. So, but no, I think when it comes to Canyon, I think all of us, both in this room and outside of this room, can appreciate the friendship that he brings to his relationships, and honestly, like just the good that he does and the thought that he puts into individuals and people. So that's Canyon for you.
well, thanks, man. Man, that was kind of.
Oh, I got to throw in. This guy, out of all of us, definitely has the most swag, or I guess has definitely
I don't know about that.
knows his
Fashion, style.
knows his ways around brands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Sometimes
because I'm a poser.
Sometimes when I buy new clothing, I just wonder if Canyon would approve.
Jeez.
All right.
He's like in the store, like, hey, do you think Canyon would like this?
Let's wrap it up.
Just thoughts inside my head. So
Okay.
we'll get more of those as we
Yeah, maybe a little too much.
as we put out these
Maybe a little-
episodes. We'll probably have more of those
Maybe a little too many.
coming, but.
Hey, we since Canyon's mic was muted, and obviously it's been a little bumpy, let's maybe get into that adventure of what happened for getting this thing started here.
Yeah, so I don't know who wants to kick it off. I guess you two were the ones that were doing the most of it. I mean, you guys got here first.
Oh, first,
Do you wanna
this,
talk
this
about it?
started 2 days ago. We we obviously all wanted to start a podcast, being best friends for this long, and obviously wanting to tell a little bit about us.
Why are we sitting there?
We'll be
You
up
guys
matching
are
pants,
you're wearing the
too.
same pants. You're
That's,
sitting the same way.
Yeah, we're gonna hold hands.
This is
here
how
in a
close
second.
we are.
So,
Yeah.
no,
we just mimic each other now.
I feel a little sad you guys don't have the same pants as us, but we'll get to that. But no, we wanted to start a podcast, so this adventure started. I mean, we started talking about it a year ago, maybe longer.
Yeah.
I think it's been.
I think it's been at
longer
least
than
a year.
I think it's been over. Yeah.
Jeez, yeah, it's been a long time coming, and finally we decided, hey, we're going to commit to this, and started looking up stuff that we needed, how to go about this. So we threw some money in, started getting a mixer, started getting all this, and unfortunately didn't pull it out of the box until 3 months after we bought it. Plugged it into the computer, found out it didn't work, and so we for the last 3 days have been trying to figure out why in the world or how in the world we're going to do this podcast, and got here today, and it still was a struggle. I don't know, Chris or Brady or Canyon, if you want to talk about the last 2.5 hours that we spent trying to get this thing rolling.
To be honest, I didn't really help. I was watching the TV.
Yeah. So
Appreciate it.
so like Braden said, we all went in, got a mixer, got some mics, and we were feeling good. We were feeling like we had the essentials. Brady's wife is a photographer, so she had a camera. So we were looking forward to using the camera for some videos to get some clips and whatnot, so we can try to grow the podcast that way. And we show up and nothing is working. Literally nothing is working. We try to get the mixer plugged in. We're looking up videos. We're typing in, the model type and how to get it to work. Nobody else has heard of it. Nobody else has posted any videos of it. So we couldn't get the audio mixer to work. So now we're just using USB into
I'm actually kind of mad because I just realized now that the camera that's taking up a USB port is not being used. So we definitely could have had 4 mics. And me and Braden didn't have to,
listen.
share a mic.
So listen. Long story short here, it's important to just start the podcast. However, it's not as easy as a lot of people make it sound on the videos or creating podcasts. But hopefully, we start to get this a little bit fine tuned and get some better audio and video quality for you guys for these upcoming episodes. I think the goal essentially is to record probably 3 or 4 before we start releasing stuff, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Just so that there's some content out there and we can start to use that, and then we'll kind of continue to go from there. But does anybody else want to add anything about the?
We haven't really talked about it, kind of a little bit, but we might end up doing like a hybrid, maybe, like doing a couple virtual episodes where we're all just on a computer, because it can be hard for all of us to get together on the same day.
Yeah.
All the time.
Talked about kids and stuff.
Yeah, we're all dads. We're all dads. We all got different passions. I think that's one of the things that's fun is, like some of us like the same thing, some of us like different things. For example, all 3, Brady, Braden, Chris, they all like to hunt. I'm the farthest thing from a hunter that you can get.
We try to get him out there with us.
I went coyote hunting one time and ended up in the back of the bed of a truck spooning 4 other half-naked men.
Okay.
half naked.
Why were you half naked?
Everybody was fully clothed.
Canyon?
Maybe I just had like a
Maybe
weird
it was
fantasy.
me.
Maybe it was just was that a fever dream? I don't.
Cannon's memory is not going well.
We did all sleep in the back of the truck.
I wasn't there for it.
There was probably some spooning,
Supposedly we were clothed though. I don't remember it that way.
Supposedly.
and I'm pretty sure we were all in our own sleeping bags. So I don't.
No, we definitely weren't in our own sleeping bags.
Yeah, I don't remember the sleeping bags. But I
No.
do remember
We definitely
Brady's
weren't.
knee going into my back the entire night.
But anyways, all have different interests in different things.
Was it
But
his knee?
some of us have the same things. Like me, Brady, Chris, we all coach, but me and Chris coach rugby. Brady coaches football. Braden isn't into coaching yet. Might be something in the future, but all have different interests and different things that I think kind of meet in the middle, which is fun, and that's kind of, I think that's ultimately kind of the goal of the podcast is, and kind of why we're calling it the Anonymous Super Seniors podcast for now, is we're all 30 and over.
No, we're just all 30.
Well, I mean, some of us are like a little farther into 30.
Okay, you can't say that because you're literally 9 days younger.
Well, but I'm still 9 days younger than you, so you are farther into 30 then.
I'm pretty sure you're 30 up until you're 31.
Yeah,
So-
I don't understand.
it
I mean, I
Depends on-
understand where you're coming from. But
Depends on how you calculate
Sorry, 30 in 6 months. I don't.
it.
But we've already figured out Kenny's memory's not good with the back
True.
of the truck. So apparently his math.
This
He's just fantasizing about us
Yeah,
all.
this is true. But yeah, the Anonymous Super Seniors podcast is just kind of, we're a bunch of older dads that still like a lot of the things that we enjoyed as high school kids. I don't know if you guys feel this way, but I feel like I'm still 17 years old and don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And
I look at other adults and I wonder when I'm going to be one.
yeah,
All the time.
No, yeah, it's
All
like-
the time.
Yeah,
Like
it's
when am I going to be like that? When am I going to look like an adult?
yeah.
I'm 30 and still trying to grow a beard. All you guys can grow a beard, so don't talk to me about looking like an adult. Can't reach the floor off the couch here. So, no, I think obviously Canyon introduced the name of the podcast there. Like, if you listen to any of our conversations outside of this and before we started the podcast, like, we all went to high school together. A lot of our wives were friends growing up or went to the same high school,
Except for mine.
Chris's wife is from the
She's
middle of
from
nowhere.
the middle of nowhere.
She's from Duchesne.
Duchesne.
The big douche.
The old big dude. We'll tell her you said that.
I tell it to her all the time. I don't care. Go ahead.
Duchesne, just for those that might not be familiar
yeah.
with Duchesne
Go
or
ahead
Duchesne.
and look it up. You'll
You won't find much.
There's not a lot there.
But yeah, no, we. I mean, if you hear us talk outside of this, like we're always talking about the memories from high school, obviously, us in sports and the things that happened there, and so it was only fitting that we named the podcast the Anonymous Super Seniors, and because I think some of those things are going to translate over into these conversations, and you guys will probably hear some stories that will make you laugh, and probably some that you don't want to hear. Or, you'll learn probably way too much about all of us as we go through this. So.
Yeah.
So hopefully we don't run out of topics.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a matter of running out of topics, it's just stringing stuff together. But
Well, it's funny because every time I mentioned to somebody that we were going to start a podcast, the first thing was like, "What are you going to talk about?" And my
Yeah.
only response was, "I don't know."
My wife said that on the way here. I was like, oh, I don't know.
Like even this morning, Carly's like, "What are you guys going to talk about on the podcast?" I was like, "We'll figure it out. We usually do."
I mean, listen, it's our first go. It's not like we're going to be great podcasters. If we were, that would be awesome. But I think that's one of the things that has kind of always been, and I think why we've always kind of stayed friends is I think we always, all four of us have aspirations for different things, and we like continue to kind of push each other and kind of we step out of our comfort zone, but we continue to like have high expectations of each other, and I think that keeps us motivated. So I think it's going to mix in well with the podcast. Just we'll continue to get better at this as we do it more and more, and as we get together and figure it out. I think it'll be
Well, and all you guys get to come along on that journey. So, as the podcast matures, and hopefully we continue to pump out content, and just kind of see where things go.
Yeah, that's the goal. That is the goal. Well, we'll hop into some of our talking points for the podcast. So we're kind of, I guess, going back to an overview of our overview of our friendship would be a good start, just to kind of set a base. I've been talking a lot, so I feel like I'm like taking over. So does somebody else want to kind of give us the rundown of the history of our friendship?
I think one of you two should probably
Yeah,
take it because
you-
I kind
you
of
were
came.
Braden.
I
You
came.
guys started it.
I came in late. Yeah.
Take it away, Braden.
All right. We all kind of joined the journey at a different time. I mean, me and Canyon, like we just mentioned, we've been around. It's since third grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were 8 years old, so that's 22 years.
22 years ago, and still going strong. It's funny when me and Canyon first met. Never met him. Came into class one day, got a bloody nose, and for whatever reason, I was the poor soul that had to help him get to the bathroom because he's bleeding everywhere. And ever since then, we've been best friends, and been together ever since. And it's been really cool to.
We've been together.
We've been together.
Pretty much.
You been together?
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Sick, dude.
can't disclose that. We'll talk.
Hey, that's all.
That's
you,
different- that's
you do
different.
you, boo boo.
Yeah.
That's a different podcast.
You do you, boo boo.
Different
I
podcast.
hope that camera didn't just turn off.
It didn't. The camera's still on.
Okay,
It's
we're still
showing
cooking.
green.
Yeah, so me and Canyon obviously met in third grade. Obviously, that friendship has continued, but I mean, like we mentioned, we all played sports together and played football specifically together. And apparently, me and Brady played baseball together too.
Apparently.
Brain doesn't
He
even-
doesn't
I
even
don't remember.
I have pictures to prove it.
Oh no. Well, we'll have to pull those out, but and then I mean, Chris, Brady, you guys came along. We started playing football together. You and Canyon.
Yeah, Canyon and I went to a football camp when we were in fifth or sixth grade. And there were some kids from another school who were kind of giving us some crap. And it was mostly I felt like it was mostly towards me. And Canyon stepped up.
Why was it mostly towards you?
I don't know, because I was tiny probably.
Fair enough.
Canyon came up behind me and was giving it back to him. And I was like, yeah, that's right. And then we've been best friends ever since.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where that happened.
Love it.
And then have we been since that happened, were we on a different football team since then?
I don't think we were. I think we were on the
'Cause
same
I think,
football team for
I
the
think
rest of the time.
your dad
And your dad.
just started coaching together, and then we were just on the same team for
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, ever since I joined their team, I started sitting the bench a lot more because they're a lot better athletes than me
That's
too.
not
So,
true. Not true.
it's true. It's
Hey,
true.
you had that toe tap catch in that playoff game. Still
Against-
one of the best plays I think I've seen
It was
or
filthy.
been a part of in a game.
Filthy.
because it's the only play I ever had. So
It's unfortunate that we recorded the
Every
entire
season, or
entire
every
game.
Yeah.
Well, even that game,
I don't know. Did we?
I think we had that
Oh,
game.
yeah,
I
and the
think it was-
battery died.
Yeah, because it was the last play of the
it
game.
conveniently died.
Yeah. So Braden's like highlight moment in Little League football. It only exists in our memories,
Yeah,
but that's
okay.
that's a good place for it to live.
Yeah.
So
excuse me. We can talk about it more. So,
No, that's it. Keep
okay,
going.
cool,
I'm just
whatever.
kidding.
You don't have to.
We'll stroke my ego. But yeah, so obviously we played football together. Brady came into the picture 8th grade, 9th grade.
No, I
Eighth,
think it was like
seventh
sophomore.
grade?
It's like sophomore year, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you played with Canyon and I on
Yeah,
the Little
I-
League team.
I played. No, I didn't play with Canyon. It was actually the
Oh,
year.
was it just
the,
me?
It was the year before your dad and your dad started coaching.
Oh, okay, so you and I
Together.
played together.
Because I was with, I think it was with Dallin Munger when Munger was still coaching. Yeah, no, we played 1 year together, and then your guys' team kind of formed, and then I kept playing, but I was just on a different team growing up. But yeah, I kind of came in about, what was it, sophomore year probably?
Probably then. Yeah.
Freshman, sophomore year, started getting together, hanging out, and because the rest is kind of history. Did sports together. Obviously, me, Canyon, and Chris. Well, Canyon and Chris played rugby sophomore year. I didn't play rugby sophomore year. We all played football, and then I played basketball, and Braden played baseball all 4 years, 3 years of high school, and then my junior year I started playing rugby with these guys, and so we played rugby both junior and senior year.
man, my memory is bad because Carly says this all the time. She says that I have a bad memory, and I thought that you played sophomore year rugby
No,
with me and Chris.
no, I didn't. I remember going to one of the games.
And okay,
I remember going to one of the games, but I wasn't playing.
and then what year did you not play, Chris?
Senior year.
Senior year you did.
Yeah,
And
which
you
was
didn't play senior year,
a
yeah.
Bum move, but
Well.
Were you cheering?
we don't need to talk about that right now. Okay?
I forgot that in my intro. Yeah.
No, we don't need. It's
That's
okay.
important. I think too we need to give Chris a little bit of a shout out. We mentioned this earlier about his second year of 9th grade. I think that was a pretty pivotal moment for our friendship because that's
Oh,
when,
I agree.
that's when you came back to 9th grade
Yeah.
because you missed us so much.
Yeah.
That's why we did
Uh-huh.
9th grade.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But I think it brought us all together because each one of us had different points of life where we knew each other or met each other. But as we all were in 9th grade together, it really just formed this bond and this friendship where now it's like, hey, we're doing life together, we're doing sports together. And so, hey, that second year of 9th
Yeah.
grade, that's
Yeah,
credit to
so
you.
happy. Yeah.
You
Well-
formed that bond.
Woohoo.
I think it's an interesting shout too. Like just kind of expand on what you're saying, Braid. Like it's just it's crazy to kind of look back at all these micro decisions or little things that like maybe we didn't think that they were going to have these lasting impacts, but now we're all here sitting on the couch trying to do a podcast just because me and Chris ended up going to the same football camp, and Chris decided to do ninth grade again, and Brady decided to
Stop mentioning this.
That's really important to
Braden
know.
brought it up as a pivotal
Apparently.
thing, or or Braden, took me to help me with my nosebleed, like just little things that kind of lead to these.
Well, the more that I think about it, I really don't know how I ended up in the group. I will be 100% honest. Looking back, I don't know the pivotal moment. I was like, we went to a football camp. Help me with the blood. I just.
You just kind of morphed in.
Yeah,
It's like a little.
Like
That's fine too.
I really don't. That's funny.
Yeah,
I was thinking
okay.
about that the other day. I was
I'll
like,
take it.
I mean, listen.
It was that night in the truck with Canyon, wasn't it? That's
Yeah.
It probably was. No,
Canyon was shirtless apparently.
because we
At
went.
least.
Well, 'cause we went to different middle schools. You guys went to
Fort Harriman.
You guys went to Fort Harriman. Well, you went to Fort Harriman.
You
Wait, no, wait. That's how it was. That's how it was. Okay.
We all went to Fort Harriman together.
We all played on the ninth grade basketball team.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Okay. Let's
That's
let's
right.
Yo,
let's throw this.
shout out to the beatiest eyed coach in the state, Coach
I hope he
Brown.
listens to
this.
That dude has straight black eyes, nothing else.
That's how it was. Okay, that's probably
That is
that's
how it
where
was.
that's where it all
Forgot
started.
that we played them.
So when Chris
Yeah.
when Chris repeated ninth grade,
Okay, for the love.
Just sprinkling that in there.
it gave us the opportunity to all play on
That was very pivotal. Yeah.
on the Fort Harriman ninth grade basketball team. We didn't win a game.
You know what though? Okay, you're right. We didn't win a basketball game because
A single game.
No,
'cause we were
we
just-
won a scrimmage against some freaking seventh graders or something.
Did we
Because-
play girls team once in a while?
Oh yeah,
because all Coach Brown told us to do was run screens.
Cycle.
Motion.
Cycle.
No,
Motion.
it was pass pick away.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
it was
Anyways,
awful.
Someone's gonna get open.
we didn't win. We didn't win much aside from a scrimmage against probably some younger kids. But that team was vibey. Like we had a lot of like Christian Baxter.
I have no idea
Taylor-
how he made
Taylor
the team.
Allen.
Christian made the team just because he was tall.
Stetson.
And that guy would make the most random shots during practice.
Yeah.
Like he would just pull it up from 50.
I'm pretty sure both
And-
times that Christian got in throughout the year, he got techs. Like he got a technical
No,
foul.
but he did get pulled out very quickly.
Yeah, because he didn't do anything. He just ran around and was kind of tall.
He just stood there.
But I mean, Stetson was on that team.
Rass was on the team, right?
Rass
Oh,
was
yeah,
on the
Devin
team.
Rasmussen.
All four of us. Poison.
Costume.
Yvonne was on
Oh,
the team.
Yvonne.
Oh, he was.
Yvonne.
Oh, Yvonne.
Yeah, Yvonne was a G2.
No,
Like that was a good team. It was a fun team.
As far as athletes, like we had a good team. It was just terrible. Coach.
Yeah, we
Our
did.
coaching
Yeah,
was
our
bad.
coach. Yeah.
I just said the
Shout out Coach Brown.
Shout out Coach Brown
Hey.
and Copper Hills, the School of Opportunities.
We'll get him on the podcast one day.
I sure hope
Hopefully.
not. I sure hope not.
Yeah, we don't
man,
need
that was terrible.
I might get scared.
Keep forgetting that you don't have a mic, so hopefully the audio is at least picking it up between mine and Chris's.
I mean, I think it's
Probably-
picking up one of the.
Probably talking so loud
Yeah,
now. but-
one of them.
Okay, you were right though. That's right. That's how we kind of morphed.
It's not just your memory. That's
I think I just got a little too many concussions, honestly. Like, I mean, I'm at 6, I think, recorded concussions.
How do you record a concussion?
Like 6, like I was diagnosed with a concussion.
write it down.
Yep, that's a concussion.
6 concussions I was diagnosed with. Who knows, however
Yep.
however many micro stuff that I, however many micro concussions or whatever I got, or things that I didn't report about.
Never heard of a micro concussion.
I don't know how these things work. I'm not a doctor.
Obviously,
Got a lot of micro
Okay.
things going on in your life.
No.
micro ears.
No,
Something like that.
I actually have a macro in my life. Okay.
A macro what?
I don't. Listen, we don't have to talk about it. Let's move on.
Sorry, Mom.
Let's see. Should we talk about some of our favorite moments in playing sports together?
You know
just
what
kinda
I
go
was
over that.
looking at last night?
What's that?
So I was scrolling through Instagram because I was trying to find a picture of Fat Brady to show my wife. And so I was scrolling through. Go ahead, Brady.
I'm waiting.
You're muted, buddy.
Oh no.
We gotta be careful with these mics. They mute really easy.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on them.
Continue.
That's why we need boom arms.
So
I'd like to hear.
So
I'd like to hear where this is going.
last night I'm scrolling through Instagram looking for a picture of Brady.
Okay, hold on. But I don't know if I call it fat Brady. It was like
He was
like
chubby.
chunky. It was like
Yeah.
You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
he was.
Chunky
But
I had to grow into my skin. Yeah.
we call him fat.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just what it is.
We call him
Bugaboo
Fat Brady.
Chubs.
He wasn't
Yeah,
that fat, Bugaboo Chubs. But I wanted to show my wife Tessa because that was probably a pivotal moment in Brady's life. But what I saw was, remember we played in that touch rugby league with all the boys?
Yeah.
There was a post on there from it, and I was like, man, why don't we do more of that? Like, I know we're 30 and old, but
Yeah, that's why.
that is one of my.
I'd say that's probably the reason why.
That's why.
And because you're the only one that can still run that long.
That's seriously. I can't run up the field once without breathing real
Why do you
hard.
think we coach?
Yeah.
I mean, I have aspirations to get in better shape this year for sure.
I don't.
How's
This is honest.
how's that year going so far, Brady? On the.
I ran once. It's January
25th.
25th.
Great job.
All right. Don't you two go to the gym every morning still?
We don't do
We don't do
cardio.
I thought you were like running a mile on the treadmill or something, or a half mile.
No.
When on earth have we ever ran?
No, we used to run.
No,
Yeah.
we've walked on the treadmill.
The truth
Or we
comes
would
out.
ride the bike though. Like we
yeah,
ride
we
the
would
bike.
ride the bike, but I wouldn't be going very hard. I'd
Yeah,
just kind of be
I
sitting
don't know if
there.
I'd say like it was like hard cardio.
Chris is eating the Planet Fitness Fruity Tooty Tootsie Rolls.
they took
while he's
them
riding
away.
the bike.
Yeah, they took them away, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yep.
Yeah.
No more grape.
We're thinking
Tutti
because
Fruities.
it's like 6 season, and they don't want a bunch of people sticking their hands in the bucket. But they're not there right now.
I wouldn't even go.
Well, it's been hard.
Yeah, that's one of like I said, I was scrolling through it. That's one of my favorite sports memories because you guys all played rugby. I didn't, and I wish I would have.
True.
So I'm like, okay, I get a little taste of it, and so we should do something like that again. Get the boys together and.
That was fun.
I agree. So 2 things off of that story. One, I think you would have been a phenomenal rugby player if you had played. I wish you would have played it because I think you would have liked it, and I think you would have been pretty good.
And you would have won, unlike baseball.
Yeah.
Too far. Too far.
Second, that was a crazy roundabout way to take a shot at Brady to bring up a memory of
Yeah.
of us playing sports together. You went.
Why I was looking.
You had to start with bringing up, like, you could have just said I was scrolling through Instagram trying to find photos of us, and you had to take a shot at getting Chubby Brady pics.
I was just being honest. That's why I was scrolling.
Chubby Brady picks is a pretty weird comment, but I mean, fair.
I mean, it's just a lot of strays, but I mean,
I'm sorry, Brady. I don't take it back, but I
I don't
apologize
take
for
it back.
bringing it up.
Well, I mean, there was a time.
You're not fat anymore. You're okay.
All right, we're not. Yeah.
All right.
I'm fat now, so so it
I
you know,
think-
That
it
reminds
comes.
me of a video.
I think
I'll show you
I don't.
guys later.
I mean, you've got 4 years of dadhood under your belt. You've got almost 7. I've got 7. He's had 9 months. Doesn't quite have the dad bod yet.
No. But to be honest, he's not gonna get a bad dad bod.
I think his metabolism.
You can't gain weight.
Yeah, you've
Also, make it to the podcast one time so you can see.
you've been a stick
Please
since
don't do that.
you were forever. So I don't think you're gonna gain weight. Obviously, I have a reputation of being fat, so I very easily put it on.
It's in the genes. No.
And I mean, none of us even knew you when you were Chubby Brady, though.
Yeah,
I did.
So it's just pictures.
I did.
Of Chubby Brady.
No, I knew him
How did you?
from Little League football.
From so the transition for me when I like made that transition from I refer to it Chubby Brady, but it was that 8th to 9th grade when I hit my growth spurt was giant because I don't think 9th grade we were playing basketball it wasn't the same didn't look the same. So what's funny it was mostly just my face.
That's fair.
True.
It was just like my cheeks.
The glasses didn't help much.
The glasses didn't help much. No.
Big.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see if at some point in one of these episodes we can throw up some pics of
old.
Yeah, I
us.
think.
old
I mean,
pics
I
of-
think. Yeah, I think
of-
once
of
we
us.
we can pull up clips and.
When we get tech savvy when it comes to
Yeah, when we
anything
figure out how to
podcast
do
wise.
this.
Yeah, once we figure out how to do the audio first, probably that's probably the first step.
yeah.
This might take us 6 months to edit because we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, we'll get around to that. But
Brady, if it makes you feel any better, you talked about how you hit your growth spurt. I'm still waiting on mine. So we talked about this before we started. I can't even touch the ground on the couch here. It looked like a little kid. So you're I'll let you know when I hit my growth spurt. So don't feel too bad.
Fair.
I wouldn't get your hopes up, pal.
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if it's coming.
I don't know. Yeah.
If it's not here by now,
Nice.
it might be a lost cause.
You never know. All right.
Let's see here. I mean, probably the natural progression, and one of the things that I think we'll probably talk about pretty frequently is football. Right now, currently, Chris and Braden's teams are the only ones that are.
No, not anymore.
Don't bring that up, Canyon. That's still
okay. Well,
sensitive.
hold on. Okay, so Chris's
Not
team,
anymore.
Philadelphia Eagles. Just for reference, for everybody that doesn't know, Chris's
Go Birds.
team is the Eagles. Braden is a Rams fan, only when they're in the Super Bowl or in the playoffs. Brady is a Broncos fan.
Why'd you laugh when you said that?
You know why he laughed.
I think everybody else knows why. And I'm a Bengals fan, which is also laughable after this season. But Braden is only a Rams fan when the Rams are good. Otherwise, Braden doesn't know what's going on with the
He
Rams.
still
Hold
doesn't
on,
know.
hold on, guys. You're right. I don't know.
I'm glad you're admitting it.
I don't know players. I don't know that. I'm a Rams fan through and through because I got a Rams pencil in 3rd grade. So I've always been a Rams fan.
Braden, I have only seen you wear Rams gear to when the Rams were in the Super Bowl against the Bengals. That's the only time I've ever seen you in Rams gear.
And he told me the day of that he bought that shirt.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Hold on.
Hey, we got to. I mean,
Listen,
you
he's
the
gonna-
three
you're
of you
gonna
are.
have to get better for this podcast.
But the three of you are diehard Utah fans. We got to give him that. Like when it comes to
This
football,
is true.
You three are diehard, Utah
Yeah. Well, Chris is a convert.
fans.
It was a long time ago.
Yes.
So we will give you that. You're dedicated there. The NFL's probably not as much
We're working on it.
as
We're getting there.
your focus
We're
there.
getting there.
But yeah, definitely bonded over football.
Mm-hmm.
Probably majority of our conversations at some point in time turn into a conversation about football
Yeah.
or sports in general.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think with a lot of our backgrounds kind of being intertwined with football, like even though Braden didn't play in high school, we played in Little League together. Like, there's lots of memories going back to high school with, my dad sitting Braden down and telling him that he wasn't selected for the team with me and Chris, I think.
What
Yeah.
team?
Was Chris on that team, Braden?
I don't know if you were on that team yet. I
I think
think this was the year before we all
Okay.
worked together.
Oh, for the Vegas tournament?
no.
Because I played on with
Almost.
Coach. No,
Was
Coach
it-
Price.
Oh,
Who I played.
Yeah.
Coach Price.
What was his son's name?
Bo.
Bo.
Bo Price. You know Bo
Bo
Price?
Oh, I know. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know
it's
Bo
his
Price.
dad.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ken. I'll cry.
No. Well, so
a bad memory.
me and Braden were friends since we've been in 3rd grade, and that's about the same time that you start playing Little League football. And my dad was coaching at the time, so Braden was always kind of me and Braden were always on the team together. And one time Braden was, were you hanging out or were you sleeping over at my house?
I think I was sleeping over at your house.
Yeah, I think.
That's the only reason I said yes to the sleepover. Cause Jerry had something to tell me.
Yeah, Braden came to sleep over at my house, and all of a sudden, my dad, who didn't get involved too much when we were hanging out, but he comes in and he's like, "Hey, Braden, can I talk to you for a second?" And pulls Braden into our front room by himself. Which you have little tiny Braden and my dad's big old Jeremy, and he's like, "Braden, we're not going to select you on the team this year. We're sorry, but
Ouch.
And I was devastated. Braden was pretty bummed, but he took it like a champ. He took it
Because I was
better.
at his house.
I think.
What is he gonna
Like,
do?
he's gonna cry? Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm excited about the other team. For you too.
I think you took it better than I did. I think I was more upset than you were. I don't think my dad had told me yet. I think he told you first, and then was trying to.
He
get
probably
me
didn't
to
want you
calm down.
telling him.
Braden just comes back to your room, absolutely.
I think Brandon came down. He's like, "I'm going to bed."
Friendship over.
You want to play Halo? No.
Hey, you want to play Halo? No, I'm going to bed.
I genuinely forgot about that until right now. And now the memories are bubbling up a little bit.
Oh.
It hurts.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was. I think that was a rest of time for all of us, but for you, me and you, not for all of us.
I mean,
Brady and Chris weren't in the picture yet, as far as our friendship goes.
in reality, I played more that year than any of the years I actually played with you guys. So maybe it should have stayed that way. Oh my gosh, playing quarterback. It was a good thing.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Chris was a quarterback in Little League.
Yeah, he was.
Ooh, in Little League. Neato.
Chris had a good ball on him. The only thing is that
All right. We can skip this portion.
if Chris ever threw an interception, it was the end of the world. I mean, helmet was coming off.
No, okay. No, it wasn't.
Well, okay, at least the chin strap was like.
Okay, maybe that.
Chin strap was coming off, storming off the side.
I want to be good.
I know you were good.
No, not when I threw a pick.
Everybody throws picks.
I mean, in your defense, you hadn't hit your growth spurt yet, and so you couldn't see over
Oh,
the
man,
line.
I was tiny. Our line was huge,
It was.
too.
But
Massive.
I can't. I mean, I remember Ken probably 10, 15 times where Chris came off the field, threw his helmet, and then his dad would make him run laps at practice for.
Yeah, that was the bad part about having my dad as the coach.
Yeah,
But honestly, if he wasn't the coach, I wouldn't have acted like that.
that's probably true too.
I don't know.
So it's partly his fault.
Yeah, I think we should blame Alan for
I
a lot
agree.
of stuff.
We blame you,
I
Alan.
can throw
Yeah.
a lot of stuff on Alan.
Yeah, we'll probably do that for a lot of things. I blame Jeremy for that. I
Yeah.
blame Kim for that. I blame
Yeah.
Dave for that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's all your guys' fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not taking any responsibility for any of the actions or decisions that we made.
Except Braden can't because he's the youngest. He never had to deal with that.
That's true. That's
He's youngest
true.
by a long way.
Yeah, Braden got away with everything. Oh my. Okay. Oh my gosh.
I'm nervous what you're going to say.
Listen.
I'm also curious where this is going.
Listen, so I had a hard curfew of 9 o'clock until I was like 17, probably.
Probably like 21.
Yeah, but then when you turned to 18, it was 9:30.
Yeah, I got a
Really
I got a
growing
30
up.
minute I got a 30-minute bump there. Okay, but Braden being the youngest, like Dave and Vicky, you guys are the best. I love you guys so much. But Braden could be out until 6 a.m.
Yeah.
and nothing. You could have killed somebody. Nothing.
Jeez. That escalated.
Not that he did. I don't think. But you did get away with a lot.
Yeah, you're right. I will admit that. Like, obviously, my parents, they'd been there, done that. But I do remember one time I'd been out until, it was probably 3 a.m. and I was hanging out with my girlfriend. And I kept ignoring their phone calls. And I always knew when I was in trouble, which was pretty rare because my parents were pretty chill. But if I walked in that back door, my dad would be sitting at the counter, always in his underwear. 100% of the time in his underwear. If he was sitting at the counter in his underwear, elbows up, I knew I was in trouble. Like anytime it was at the counter in his underwear, it was game over.
Which is hard because your dad has a very friendly, fun, joyful demeanor.
True.
So when you see Dave not happy, which I've experienced, maybe we'll save that one for a later time. That is not a fun sight to walk into. So I can relate partially to.
Yeah,
that.
you've seen that, you've experienced that.
Yeah, I mean,
but you're right. Ultimately, like
You could have done whatever you wanted. And
I mean, my
You
parents
did
love you, mom and dad, but they were pretty old. And
well, but
they
were?
but
they've gotten younger.
well, yeah, because I mean, that's true that you're the one anomaly here with.
We're all the oldest.
We're all the oldest. You're
Other than
the
me.
youngest in your family.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
What do you mean you didn't realize that?
Well, I never put it together. You guys were all the oldest.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're the youngest, but how old is Emily? She's like,
Emily's
How much
10,
older?
10 years older. than
yeah,
me,
so you're the youngest by a long way.
maybe an accident. My mom says no, but I don't know if there's any way you couldn't be an accident 10 years later. I'm waiting for the truth to come out, Mom. So if you hear this, let me know.
There's a lot of things that kind of like you got like me and Brady. I think our parents are the only parents that got divorced. You guys, both of your parents are still together, so I think that was something that me and Brady could relate to when we were getting to know each other and like kind of navigating that. And
Because my parents split when I was in 9th grade, I think. 8th grade, 9th grade. No, take that back. It was definitely like 7th grade.
yeah, it was.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It was like
pretty-
it was like 7th grade.
Yeah, your parents split.
Right when I got into middle school. Because when did yours split earlier than that? Right?
Yeah, my dad and my birth mom, they split when I was 3.
Yeah.
Was Tristan even born?
Yeah, Tristan was
Speak-
born.
I guess she had to have been.
Speaking
Yeah.
of when coming home and your parents, being out past curfew or something like that. Like I knew I was in trouble when my mom would go to sleep, but she'd wake up when I got home, and usually I'd find her halfway down the stairs, and majority of the time it would just be like half asleep, really, and then she'd turn around and go back to bed, and like I didn't know how to gauge that. Like I knew I was in trouble, but I didn't know how much, and so I always just went to bed and like didn't know if I was in trouble or not until the next morning. So
Well,
that's
my
usually-
dad was very blunt with how much trouble I was in.
Yeah.
There wasn't any secrets about the trouble that Canyon was in. It was very clearly what was going to be the consequences, which was often like grounded for multiple months, phone gone, can't go out anywhere. It's just sports, school. That's it.
How did you know you were in trouble with your parents?
My dad yelled at me. Anytime. He just yelled. I just knew. Or he'd give me the so
look.
disappointed. I'd be like, all right, well.
What's the worst thing, yelling at you or the disappointment?
I don't know. They were both pretty bad. You guys have seen my dad yell.
Yeah,
We've all
It's
seen Alan. Yeah,
it's-
we've seen Alan yell.
it's a little scary.
he's gotten calmer over the years.
Okay, well, yeah, he's old now.
So, yeah. I know. I feel like we've been talking for quite a while, have we not?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
I think we've
Decent
been
amount.
going on about 40 minutes.
Yeah, right around there.
Doesn't look like we covered
Anything.
half the things that we
Well, I
originally
mean,
had
it's
said.
the introduction episode.
I mean, like, look, I was like, I mean, other things you're probably going to hear us talk a lot about in future episodes, or things that we're taking on, new hobbies we're trying to learn. I mean, all of us have kind of picked up golf recently. Other things like that we
It's like, yeah.
I mean, Braden's definitely had kind of dove into that a little bit more than the rest of us, and he's good at it. So he's getting a lot better at that too.
Well,
So
I mean,
good on you.
he had a 100-yard stint for a
You
little
just,
bit.
you just lied through your teeth right there, Brady. I'm not good enough.
Okay, Braden spends the most time on the golf course.
Yeah,
That's accurate.
We'll say that. I mean, other things that we bond over a lot of the times is we've kind of. I mean, we didn't grow up. At least I didn't grow up playing video games with you guys nearly as much. I think you guys probably played other things, but over the years we've kind of bonded over kind of having that time late at night, or when we have time alone to ourselves to kind of, because we can't get together all the time. We all don't live right next to each other, but being able to jump on and play some games, and majority of the times it ends up us yelling at each other and frustrated. But I think
I'm pretty sure that's every night.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna record one night of audio without everyone knowing one
Oh,
time, and
geez.
it's just gonna be.
Please don't.
Well,
I
just
will get in a
just
lot of
unfiltered
trouble.
raw
We
comms.
might
Okay.
lose viewers if
You can't. You can't show
Yeah.
my wife.
Well, we're also gonna have to bleep out quite a bit.
You're yelling the whole time.
I don't yell.
Chris,
What?
you yell.
I yell sometimes.
We have fun. We have fun bonding over video games. Kind of spending that time, chilling, hanging out, and yeah.
Yeah, we also it's not, our friend group isn't just us four. We're just the four that have known each other the longest. But we have other friends that we're pretty close to, so we'll probably have them on the show from time to time. Our wives will probably make some guest appearances, I would assume. But yeah, and just I think some pop culture stuff like have you guys read any of the Fourth Wings?
No, I don't read.
Okay,
No,
okay,
I don't know
listen,
how to
okay,
read.
okay, listen, okay,
I've never
really,
seen
really
Chris
quick,
seem so
really quick,
deflated.
I don't know how to read.
just really quick, just to show some diversity on the podcast, that we don't just talk sports or like reminisce on the good old days. So Fourth Wing is a good series. If you can do podcasts, I suggest audiobooks. Audiobooks are great. Audible has a good deal going where you can get credits. It's good.
I'm
promise.
bored already.
Okay, but listen. Okay. So Fourth Wing's a pretty popular series amongst Book Talk on TikTok. If you guys are familiar, Book Talk.
Okay. That's
There's
not what I thought you said.
there's some semi-spicy scenes in there. A lot of people will debate that they're not that spicy.
Chris all of a sudden likes
I
reading.
like spicy. I wish I could read. Wish I knew how to read.
Some Book Talk
So spicy.
Some Book Talk people will debate that they're not that spicy compared to other stuff, which I don't want to know what the other stuff is. But I will say the new book came out just recently. It's going crazy. People are buying it at Target. They're selling it for like 500% markup. But anyways, the story is told from the point of view of a female. So during some of the spicy scenes, you feel perverted a bit. I feel okay. Not
Can
perverted.
I ask?
Okay,
where is
So
this going?
I was gonna say,
I'll-
Canyon, you said to add diversity to this, and then
This is getting real diverse.
and get into your own erotica about books. Like,
All I'm trying to say is that there are other interests. We talk about other things. I think it's something to talk about.
Canyon talks about.
Canyon talks about spicy books
We know where
sometimes.
Canyon's other
I'm
interests
just,
are at.
I'm just saying that when you hear from a female's perspective, explaining in
I don't
detail
think this should be in the podcast.
You know what?
and explicit.
You know what?
Okay.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Explicit detail.
No, I just
What kind of detail?
no. Now I feel like I threw off the whole thing.
You didn't throw it off.
I don't think there was anything to throw off. I mean, the premise of this podcast
We're just hanging out.
is literally for us to hang out and talk
It's
about
true.
things that are just,
True.
hey, I've been reading this book. Like, you guys should definitely give it a
Is that what you're
read.
trying to say? You guys should read it? Is that what you're
I
saying?
think you should read it.
Okay.
But I'm just trying to warn you, I told you about Saltburn, right? And that
Is it
movie.
Saltburn level?
No.
Okay.
No.
Thank goodness.
But I'm just trying to say that
Still haven't watched it. Not going to watch
no,
it.
I wouldn't watch it.
Not going to watch it.
But I'm just trying to say that you should read it. It's a good book. It's a good series. The author's very good. The characters are good. The storyline's good. But if you read it, I'm just trying to warn you that it feels uncomfortable hearing the intimate details of a semi-spicy scene from a female perspective. It feels like you're intruding on something you shouldn't be. Is all I'm trying to say. I'm trying to give you a warning while encouraging you to pick up other hobbies. All right.
right.
So,
Diversity.
Can I just say one thing as well?
yeah.
I think a lot of this podcast isn't going to be just us introducing each other and talking the way we have today. It's going to be, we're going to have topics. We're going to have an outline. We're going to get off the outline. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
But if you find this boring or find it kind of like you don't want to listen, it'll get better.
Yeah.
It'll get
First
better.
episode.
Yeah.
It'll get better.
Yeah. We'll get much more refined. This whole thing will get better.
I'm not going to advocate for that. If you don't want to listen to us, get the F out. Like,
Brady.
Well, he didn't mean that. Okay? Please listen. Please listen to the
We're not
podcast.
good enough to edit that
But
out, Brady.
it's going to get better. It is going to get better.
no, it is. Definitely. But, yeah, I'm just going to say we're
Well,
just,
that's right,
we're
yeah.
just going to be genuine. Like,
Yeah.
it's just,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
just going to
yeah.
be how that's just going to be how we are.
Yeah,
Like, we're going to
for
be
sure.
candid. It's just going to be, what it is. And
What it is.
what it is.
And we're all gonna have our own mic.
Yeah, we're gonna get
We will
our
have
mic set
we'll
up.
have the
we
audio and mic situation for the next episode figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the pilot episode. This is a
Yep.
pilot episode.
We're trying it out.
Yeah,
We're trying to learn.
But we'll get it dialed in. But one thing that you can always, I think we can all agree, and what Brady I think is ultimately saying is that this is always going to be 100% authentically us. We're not trying to cater this to anybody. It's just going to be for best friends hanging out, talking about the things they like, and riffing and going off topic about books that nobody's going to care
have
about.
anything
nobody's
to do
gonna
with what
read.
we were talking about.
And yeah,
Well, I think that's the majority of where the idea for the podcast came was like we were having some genuine conversations. We were laughing, whether it was we were together, whether we were playing video games, whether it's we were on trips together. And I think the comment was made that like, hey, we should document a lot of this, or like it'd be fun to like be able to go back and watch or listen to some of these conversations, just like we all kind of had that epiphany when being on the 9th grade basketball team together. But I think that's kind of the premise of this is not only to make good content that people are going to enjoy, that hopefully,
yeah.
Oh, I mean, I know there's lots of people out there who have already been supportive of us with the idea of starting a podcast. I mean, we've been surrounded by some amazing people, but I think majority of one of the reasons why we wanted to do this was to create good content that's fun to listen to, but also something for us to be able to kind of reflect on and kind of have as a memento.
it'd be kind of cool for our kids to like listen back to this probably.
Or they'll cringe at everything we say.
Or that too.
One-
Yeah,
one or
there's a
the
good
other.
chance,
There's
but they're
probably-
also going to learn stories about us
Yeah, that maybe.
that probably they shouldn't know.
Well, you know.
but that's probably good.
But
too.
but when they're older, they'll think it's funny.
Yeah,
hopefully.
Well, maybe.
Well, all right. Should we wrap it up?
I think so.
'Kay.
I think we're good.
Well, yeah. So I started us off. I still think I talked too much, but thank you guys so much for listening to the first episode of the Anonymous Super Seniors podcast, Ass for short.
Ass.
We grateful for the time that you guys gave us, and we're looking forward to continuing on this journey of starting this and getting this better, and spending more time together. So yeah, thanks so much, guys. We'll
Peace.
see you next time.
Thanks, guys.